Yo, this is Supermax Hernandez, and you're watching Countdown City WrestleCast. Boom! I got it.
What's up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast.
Like you were going to start. You were going to get off right there.
I'm your host, JC. Over here, we got Tommy.
Yo.
And he's the guy who just told us a great joke. We got Mike.
Mike, and this is 2020.
I can't wait for the blooper reel for you guys to see what that joke was. Because I want you to wait all until we do the blooper reel.
Probably will be in the summertime.
In the summertime.
Right.
I hope it's in.
Summertime.
But just a little hint, it's from The Office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great joke from The Office. What is up? We're back. The three of us here sitting at the desk. Already introduced us.
Yes, sir.
I did.
Yeah, so we should start the show.
Yeah, we should start. Our Twitter account at @CCG_WrestleCast and subscribe to Countdown City Geeks. Thank you, everybody, for watching, for all you new subscribers out there. And if you just caught this video, give us a subscribe. Hope you enjoy the show. Yep. Today, we are recapping what is arguably going to be tough to beat, one of the best pay-per-views of the year, NXT TakeOver Portland.
I will say, finally, someone gave Wrestle Kingdom a good run for their money.
Is it better than Wrestle Kingdom?
No, but
we'll see.
For 6 matches, it was really solid.
We'll see. It definitely proved that you can do a great show with 6 matches
in
3 hours.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
WrestleMania.
With the musical performance while we're at it, too.
WrestleMania.
Main roster's like, what? That's the WrestleMania pre-show. 3 hours.
That's the pre-show to Raw before WrestleMania. All right, so we're going to break that down a bit. Tina is not joining us, but she did give us her rating. We'll play that video later, and she had submitted also a 1-minute warning as well. So,
what if they just name a takeover NXT TakeOver WrestleMania preview?
What WrestleMania should be. Alrighty,
that'd be Triple H's name for it.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get right into it. NXT TakeOver Portland recap now, or a recap of it. If you have never seen a recap, usually what we try to do is kind of discuss what we like, dislike. Have a match of the night poll. The thing is, all 6 of these matches were so great. I could not nominate nominate down to 4 for a match of the night poll. They were so good.
You really couldn't.
Twitter, get your game up.
Get come on now.
Yeah, this was even my least favorite match on the card is still better than a lot of matches on other pay-per-views I've ever seen.
Let's start there.
Yeah.
What was your least favorite?
My least favorite match, I can't lie, was Kai versus Knox. But not to say that it was bad. This is not me saying it was bad at all. It was a great match. It just wasn't my favorite of the night.
Is it because of the finish? Because that was quite a surprise with Raquel Gonzalez. Well, it used to be Reina Gonzalez. Yeah. Now it's Raquel Gonzalez.
I actually kind of did like that because it was kind of random, and they're building up Kai as this villain character, and of course, like a lot of good villains, they have like a giant bodyguard. It's a wrestling trope, but
she had no idea who she was.
Is it wrong for me that for a split second I thought it was Sonya Deville?
No, because I thought it was too.
For a second, I was too until they said her name because she looked like her. Yeah,
I was like, okay, so it wasn't just me. Cool.
Yeah,
that would have been a hell of a surprise.
That was like I liked it, but it was kind of random. I just wasn't sure what was going on. But other than that, the action was really good.
I hate to compare it to this, but it's kind of like ACW because AEW. Mm-hmm. They're bringing in some new people that people don't know yet. So like when they show up, they'll be like, who is it? And like no one knows. And I kind of felt it was like that. It was like
you get quiet and you have to wait to hear the commentator says her name or something like that. Yeah.
Luckily the commentators know because sometimes they're like, who is that? We don't know.
That was a pretty violent match, and had it not been for Gonzalez, I would have gotten it right with Tegan Knox winning. But
yeah,
what can we do?
Yeah.
So
no, I had a feeling. I didn't expect someone to show up.
Yeah.
But like I thought, and they got pretty brutal with each other for a while.
Yeah, they did.
Like it was.
Shout out to Keith Lee who opened the show against Dominic Djokovic.
That was really good.
20 to 25 minute match. I didn't time it. I didn't get the exact time. It was around there.
Let me see.
What do they have officially?
They have on Wikipedia, which take this or leave it.
Unless you're writing a history paper.
For sure. They have it at 20 minutes and 20 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Which is still a very long opener. Like surprising.
It felt longer, but in a good way. I mean, it was for 2 big guys. They definitely showed that actually they had.
These two just have chemistry.
I know we all picked Keith to win, and we all got it right. But was there any spot where you thought, man, is he going to drop it already?
There was a few times.
There was yeah, for sure.
Well, I was like, oh crap, because I was like, maybe. I mean, they're all three the same, but maybe they're going to move horizontally Keith Lee over to one of the main roster shows.
I kind of thought so when all out of nowhere, and this was kind of early in the match. Well, not really, but like still, it was like when freaking Dijakovic had a spiral tap. I was like, oh, the match is over. This guy hit a,
like, what are you gonna do to top what you just did?
This giant 6'8" man hit a spiral tap. Well, good night, everybody.
In all fairness, these two need to stop wrestling each other because like we're gonna become desensitized.
Yeah.
We're gonna be like, oh, triple spiral tap Lundy power bomb through 3 tables. Oh yeah, kick out of 2. Don't worry. Like, at what point are you? Just
no, that's a Johnny Gargano match. I'm kidding.
We'll get to that later, but yeah, that too.
And that's just to open the match.
Yeah. And I felt the same about these two as someone said about Jeff Cobb in one of the videos I watched. Is like someone put a compilation video.
He's a beautiful man. What?
Besides that,
Speaking of marking out for AEW over here,
it said someone put Jeff Cobb looks like he just read the book of physics one day and just said no and just went out and did this whole thing. That's how I feel about Lee and Dijakovic. It's like they're like physics.
This is the age of acrobatic big men, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, I was on Twitter when Jeff Cobb was making his debut with AEW, which is really cool to see him show up. Mm-hmm. And they're like, "Who is this guy?" And everyone's like responding like, "Well, he kind of looks like Roman Reigns." I'm like, "Okay, think Roman Reigns, but faster, quicker, and more acrobatic." And that's really Jeff Cobb. If you don't know who he is, of course we do.
And someone harder to kill.
Yeah,
and having eaten a lot more tacos or whatever they eat over
still more agile.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how he's going to be in AEW. It seems like a good fit for him. So
he's still technically a free agent, which I'm curious as to how that's going to work out behind the scenes, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Okay.
The women's championship match, Ripley versus Belair.
So good.
Great match.
So great. Belair showing up great with she was in the Charlotte robe kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's really appreciated because she makes all her own gear, which I think is pretty cool. So. Good.
No, not to jump straight to the end, but I think with the kind of matches all night, I think I was shocked when Ripley hit the riptide off the turnbuckle, because then that actually was the finish. I was like expecting a kick. I was like, oh, that's it?
I'll give you that.
I was like, that finished it. Okay.
Yeah, I was surprised by that.
Given the whole night, I was kind of like, I expected them to kick out of that and do a few more.
Yeah, me too. I'll give you that.
But it was a great match.
It was.
Like, I've said this before, the NXT women matches always seem so much smoother.
They do.
Like,
now they've gotten better because I mean early on they were still, you could tell there's a bit of rookies, a little bit of greenness, but yeah, I mean maybe it's a product of them working so much together, working the performance together.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Being together and have so much time at the PC helps a bunch as opposed to just being on the road all the time. And I guess you didn't have to worry about, like, how do I get out of the rear naked choke for 5-10 minutes? So that's, that was a good one.
You can have variety to that.
Not to have that ending.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, Becky.
I mean, but now she has to worry about her going all vampire on her, too.
While she's in the rear naked choke, then biting the neck.
Oh my God. Yeah, Mike addressed that last week.
Yeah.
Go check out his rant about
It's
it.
fun.
I think we all agree with it. But
I had no problems with what he said.
They happened to show that again, slow-mo on Raw today. We're recording this on Monday. And they added biting sound effects and all this other cool
Did they
crap.
really?
Yes,
Oh
they
my
did.
God!
Like a vampire kind of thing. Yeah. Somebody had fun with sound editing. You're not winning an Academy Award with that. Sorry, man. All right. We'll move on before Tommy gets really pissed off. NXT Tag Team Championship. I basically call this the Broserweight Showcase. Yes, you were happy.
Bro.
My wife Tina was not happy with that result. She's a big Undisputed Era fan. And Matt Riddle annoys the shit out of her, to be honest with you. So she loves Pete Dunne, though. But this was really a Broserweight Showcase. They showed off every kind of tag team move that they have.
Yeah.
Which was amazing. I feel like the Undisputed Era didn't get a whole lot of offense.
I feel like they did. It's just like it kind of got overshadowed because every time Pete Dunne does the finger snap thing, you cringe a little bit. You miss everything else that happens.
Yeah,
They had their moments, but it was a showcase, I think, because they would come back with a flurry. Like the Broserweights, like they would get beat up for a little bit, and then they would come back, or Riddle would jump in and just like take them all out, and then Pete Dunne would run outside, like you said, and snap their fingers, stand on their fingers. Because there was the one point where the Undisputed Era had both of them like in submission type moves.
Yeah.
At the same time, like they were trying to, and then they, I think Riddle had to kick out of it first and like knee him to go save.
You need him, and then he backdropped or something like that. Which is really cool.
Yeah.
Really
That was
creative.
cool.
Very, very creative the way they did that stuff.
Yeah.
So that was the only title change of the night.
Yes.
The one that was kind of 50-50 in flux, we thought we don't know where this is going to go leading in, was the NXT Championship, Adam Cole versus Tommaso Ciampa.
Oh, that's the last match.
That's the last match, yeah.
Oh, okay.
We did miss one, but I'm going to get back to that based on the finish of this one.
Okay,
so,
yeah.
Cole versus Ciampa was... None of us really knew. This is one you could have flipped a coin.
This one was my match of the night.
Yeah, which... That was your match night. Was year 2 or what? Because I think that was like one response we got on Twitter. This was it.
Yeah, I mean, it.
If you had to pick one, you know.
Again, like I don't want to be one of those people that crap over these kind of matches, but like, man, like they go through finishers and monster finishers.
I will admit they literally hit every finisher ever in this match.
Like, I don't know, man. I just feel like at some point to top it, you're gonna have to have one of those exploding ring death matches, like
back in like Japan,
like Cactus Jack used to do back in Japan.
I mean, yeah.
All right, Big Japan
Might
Pro
get to that
Wrestling, you
point.
heard it.
But that being said, like they're both amazing wrestlers, and you know what they pulled off, and then every time you thought one of them was gonna go down, then they kicked out, and.
Yeah, shout out to a Twitter response we got from @OG Gouda. This guy actually is a 2K player, Pro 2K player. We met him. We had an AT&T Center event.
Oh, cool.
Started following the WrestleCast after that. He said, if I had to choose one for match of the night, it would be Cole versus Ciampa. Those near falls during the middle portion were next low.
Yeah.
And that was really crazy. You didn't know what was going to happen. Of course, the referee thing, the rest of the UE getting involved. But
Naturally.
the surprise finish of it was Gargano getting involved there.
Yeah.
Hitting with the belt. That's the ending. Hitting Ciampa with the belt, I should say. Gargano, who earlier lost to Finn Balor.
That was a really good match.
That was really good as well. Showcased both, but Balor, they're working the heel route, and then Gargano basically had a one-night turn when you think about it, you know?
Yeah.
And that previous match, Balor looked fierce, man. He was really like punishing Gargano.
I was watching it.
Really hitting him hard.
To me, and I was waiting to say this. I was like, "There's Prince Devitt."
Yeah.
This is where I finally said, "That's Prince Devitt. That is the guy who started the Bullet Club right there. That is exactly who that."
Well, you notice in the entrance that was on his graphic too, just Prince over and over again. So
I like that because to me, I do like smiling. You know, good guy Finn Balor.
Lucky Balor.
Yeah, but dangerous Prince Devitt is when I first really noticed. I knew he was before he started Bullet Club, but that's when I really took notice of him, and I like how he's embracing that side of him again.
Okay.
And hitting the 1916, which I don't know if you guys know, he used to call it Bloody Sunday.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so you can't use that name. So
I mean, he could, but you know, I mean, that's whatever. Everyone gets offended.
And then this year the sequel to that move won an Academy Award, right? 1917.
That's true.
How long were you holding on to that?
Honestly, nailed it.
Every time I hear 1916 recently, but.
Yeah. We'll move on to our pick results. Tina and I both went 4-2, and Mike and Tommy went 5-1. The only match they got wrong, they thought the UA was going to end with no gold.
I did see Gargano turn.
No,
I did not see that coming.
Otherwise, it was totally Ciampa's to take.
Yeah. So,
but I finally did well on a takeover again. Like
true.
I felt like my takeover record was the worst on this show, and I think it was.
I'll have to check the records for that.
I think my takeover record was the absolute worst on this show, and I was like, when I realized I only got one wrong, I was like, I finally got a good takeover.
It was looking like a clean sweep for you guys too.
Yeah.
So.
It was so close. It was so close.
I assumed that's where they were going.
Yeah, me too.
But.
Yeah, keeping it on them, man. Keeping the UE relevant. So it's pretty cool. Now we're gonna move on to our WrestleCast ratings. 0 to 5, 5 being WrestleMania 17, 0 being December to December. Tina did submit her rating. She did pre-record it, so we're gonna play that video for you guys right now.
Well, hello. Yeah. So my rating for the show is actually a 4.8. It was really good. I think the only confusion I think we talked about was the ending. Gargano just kind of hitting Ciampa with a belt, and the belt is all what it took for him to lose after he'd taken so many finishers. So that was a little confusing. Other than that, all the matches were really great. From start to finish, all of the matches were really great. It was probably one of the best takeovers ever, I would say. So, thanks. And, yeah.
All right. 4.8 for
Man, I
Tina.
can't believe she said that. That was
I didn't know.
Wow.
I didn't know she could cuss like that.
Right?
Oh, gosh.
The flagrant
Man.
use of the F word. Jeez.
4.8 for Tina. Of
Well,
course,
she
yeah.
did
no-
say 4 several times.
I want to say she said her videos like all those false finishes that it ends on a belt to the head. You know.
Well, yeah,
all
that's what
fixed.
we were joking about before she recorded. That's like I was saying earlier. All those false finishes. I mean, they hit everything, and then it was like belt to the face, got him.
The belt is so damn good. Yeah.
That belt. Hey, that belt's heavy, man. Shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's no replica. That's the real deal.
Those replicas can hurt though.
For sure.
Catch the wrong edge of it anyway. So.
Yeah.
All right. As for my rating, I'm pretty much where she's at. A 4.75 for me. Honestly, I think I think you mentioned the street fight. As violent as it got, I think the finish with the debuting Raquel Gonzalez kind of took away from what this feud had. You know.
I also think if she would have gone through the table, it would have not looked as
That
awkward.
was scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I really thought, oh my God. She's
Yeah.
dead.
Like, it was nice because they pulled it off, so she kind of like, it felt like she was in midair for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but then instead of going through the table, she kind of just like knocked it over and wound up like laying against it and just looked weird. It looked bad. But.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I do not like when the table doesn't break because like when they clip it right, it looks like something like it looks way worse.
Yeah. I mean, there's table spots are scary from like that, and it's just you fly the wrong way. But still, it was overall a great show. I mean, this is top, definitely show of the year nominee, and it's going to be hard for anybody to top this. It was the first time NXT had a Sunday pay-per-view, and they did such a great job. So very happy to see it. 4.75 for me. Mike, what do you got?
I'm right there with you. 4.75.
Okay.
Again, great overall show. There's like y'all said earlier, the weakest match or the one you liked the least wasn't even a bad match. It was just when you have to compare it with 5 other matches. But yeah, again, maybe some small things again, and I know when every match has like 10,000 kickouts or things that they go through, and maybe long term, I guess I just worry that eventually like you get desensitized to it. But I mean, it was cool for tonight.
I think one reason like it to me it doesn't lose as much because when it's Ciampa, Gargano, and Cole, it makes a lot more sense because there's known for that. So to me, it doesn't really take it away from it as much because like with those three, they're kind of known for being Super Saiyans.
But even Lee and Dijakovic kind of started that way. They hit each other with a lot.
Yeah,
God, man,
I think with those two, like I'm desensitized to it because I'm used to it from them. So
Here's what I fear: like those guys, if they ever do get called over, I'll say to Raw or SmackDown, they're gonna end up as a tag team.
Yeah,
Because,
they are,
as you know,
absolutely.
it's one of those big
That's
feuds
the
where
Vince
it's just,
way.
the Towers of Doom.
They're gonna have a best of 7, and then they're gonna become
yeah,
the weight partner.
The weight bar.
the power lifters, something like that.
You know, I have this sneaky suspicion that Vince has a fake channel where he watches stuff like this and he heard that's like the weight bar. That's brilliant.
Somebody trademark it before these bastards do.
And sue them too, just for it.
Cease and desist. Tommy, what you got?
I'm actually gonna agree with Tina and go 4.8.
8. All right.
Yeah. I like I said. I mean, well, you guys said it all already. I don't need to repeat it. Yeah. Same
Say it
reason.
anyway.
Say it anyway.
The matches were good. The only my least favorite match was not bad. It just wasn't my favorite of the night, and it was still a solid show overall. I mean, you know, it really does mean something when the night is so good. Even your least favorite match is still a match you tell anybody to watch. So
And you know, I also gotta say, I don't know. It's maybe a strange aside for the street fight. I like the look that they both came out with.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of different.
Yeah.
It wasn't wrestling gear. It was straight up off the
Yeah.
streets. Just go. Let's fight.
Like, it wasn't, and I mean, NXT women, tend to not have, like, the WWE women tend to get in this thing now where they all have to have some sort of, like, brightly colored hair.
Yeah.
And the NXT women not so much, but just like different looks. Yeah, it wasn't wrestling gear. Which, speaking of which, Ciampa came out with tights.
That
And
was
threw me
shocking.
off.
It
It just kind of hit me as we were talking about that. I was like, wait, he came out with tights. That was weird.
It was weird.
I did enjoy the spot, by the way, where a fan was going to give him a high five, and he saw he was bald, just grabbed him and gave him a kiss on the forehead, which is
and that dude marked the freak out.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
mean,
that he made that dude's whole week.
classic Ciampa.
Do you think Cena told Ciampa to cease and desist with the camo shorts?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Look, Ciampa,
I'm coming back.
I like you,
Unless you're going to be in the Marine, you can't wear
but
those.
you can't wear those.
Yeah.
You can't see me.
So 4.8.
Even if you could see me, you can't wear my jacket.
4.8 for Tommy. Yeah. Overall rating 4.775. I don't have to double check if this is our highest rated show.
Takeover?
Overall. Show or anything takeover. I'm not sure. I have to go back and double check.
Okay, real quick.
I might be all in now that I think about it. But
I got to tell you this joke happened. So I think I told you guys about the pitch meetings that are on YouTube with Orion George. He I think he was talking about Dr. Doolittle, and they said, "So who did you think for celebrity voice actors?" Oh, I have one guy's picture right here. It's a blank sheet, and he goes, "Oh, John Cena." It's like, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nice. I love all the jokes for that.
I love that it was like a 2-second joke, and I fell. I had to pause the video because I couldn't stop laughing.
The Fast and Furious 9 jokes.
He's been in all the Fast and Furious movies. He's been in
Absolutely.
all
Can see him.
Yeah. I hope they say that.
He's even on the movie.
I
poster.
hope they say that in the movie. I hope they say it in the movie. He's been like with you every day, Dom, or something like that. You just couldn't see. I hope they say that.
Even better, like the very end, like cheesy hero line, "I can see you," and then he like defeats him or whatever.
That would be even better. Oh man.
Oh, we'll see, man.
I suddenly want to see Fast 9 so bad.
I still do. And then they already announced they're doing Fast 10 next year, and it's the last one.
Yeah.
I heard it's gonna be a 2-parter though, like kind of like
Mother.
like it's gonna be.
I'm still gonna
not
see it.
10 and 11 per se, but like 2-part.
2-part
finale.
Fast.
So like Harry Potter,
10
Deathly
point-
Hollows.
Yeah,
10.5.
Fast in space.
How they're jumping the shark.
They might as well just have the
They're gonna do that too.
They might as well,
Dom drives a Mustang onto a freaking space shuttle, and boom, let's go.
No, he drives the Mustang that turns out to be an Autobot all this time, and
Nice.
suddenly the Megatron is like
The ultimate crossover.
That's
Cena.
I've been waiting for.
He was in Bumblebee.
Thank you. I've been waiting for this for like 5 years. I was like, when is this just going to be revealed that they are actually in the Transformers universe and all their cars are clearly the Transformers I don't know.
They're better than Mark Wahlberg's addition to it. I'm not. Well,
That's
him
a
too, but-
whole other Geekcast kind of thing.
Oh, that's true.
Like
Yeah.
that.
Sorry. Sorry. Wrong show.
But Cena's a wrestler, so it
I
connects.
know. Before we move on to our Road to WrestleMania update, they did announce that there is in fact going to be a takeover WrestleMania weekend, and I was kind of unsure about it because with the way they're running a triple brand thing, I thought maybe there's going to be some NXT. Now there is going to be an NXT title defended on WrestleMania. We know that. Ray Ripley, Charlotte did announce she's going to be challenging Ray Ripley. For the
So
NXT
they're
titles.
not on the even footing with the other two shows.
I don't know.
Only around November are they the same?
They're running the night before WrestleMania. In Tampa.
My thought was this because now that you said that, now I'm thinking, what if they primarily feature the UK brand on this takeover and
Well,
have like
here's the thing.
the main NXT titles on WrestleMania?
See, I'm not sure they'll do that because they did shortly yesterday also announce NXT UK TakeOver Dublin, Ireland, and that's going to be April 26th.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm wrong. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm calling it right now. Walter Devlin.
Devlin already called him out. He says he wants Walter.
Yes.
Really?
Straight up, he wants Walter.
Yes.
Really?
Jordan Devlin wants Walter in his home country.
I want it.
I want it too.
I do too.
Heck
I
yes.
approve this.
That
Yes.
How do you top what you've done already? Devlin's already cruiserweight champ. Like, boom, there you go. You need this guy to challenge Walter
I know it's too early, but do you guys think he'll be able to take it from him?
in his home country. I don't see why not.
You do one of two things. You either make Walter the uber heel,
And have him.
or you make the childhood dream come true story.
Yeah.
It's one or
Okay.
the other. So
Imperium's the X Factor. Like, how many other? You're gonna have some Irish wrestlers.
or
come.
what-
No, that's X-Pac and PJ Palaco.
No, I mean,
That's X Factor.
I know what you
Albert.
mean. dick.
Or
they're the wild card of the match.
What,
like if they're going to be involved or not.
What if Devlin hires X Factor for one night?
Wow.
You thought Imperium was the X Factor.
What if Imperium comes out while the referee's knocked out and all of a sudden, yo, you're dealing with the X Factor, and they all.
So like
Devlin, take notes. We got your idea right here.
Old X-Pac, the trainer from the PC comes out.
Good Lord.
And Just Incredible just kind of walks out there.
I'm still here, guys.
And making a triumphant return to help Devlin win. Cesaro. Mike would love that.
Book it. I'm here for this.
What if he just gets Cesaro? He just like cleans house with all of Imperium, which I could totally believe happening.
If Vince isn't booking it, I believe it.
Either way you look at it, it's a stacked month. I think they did announce a date for Lockdown, by the way, and I think it's the 20...
NXT Lockdown? Oh.
No. Impact, excuse me.
I'm just kidding.
NXT Lockdown.
That'd be crazy.
Actually, that would be a bad idea.
If they ever buy Impact, it could happen. Let's throw that out there. So, what's the date they had for Lockdown? Where is it? They did announce
We're going
Sacrifice.
off the rails on a crazy train.
I might cut this here. Lockdown.
Anyways, let's talk more about Cesaro because he's the best.
Someone did bring since he's looking for that. Someone did ask one question on Twitter. I think you saw the tweet I posted. It said like, "What does Drew McIntyre have that Cesaro doesn't?" And that's a legitimate question. Like,
he has.
Lockdown's
I mean,
in March.
He's
Lockdown's in March 28th.
Taller.
Oh, okay, cool.
He's taller, and he does have more charisma, or he has more of a personality that shows when he talks. Like I mean, I love Cesaro, don't get me wrong, and I would get behind a Kofi-like push no matter what.
Yeah.
But, I mean, when Drew McIntyre was the young guy, Vince literally said, you're the future. He's like 6'6". Cesaro's probably, 6'2", 6'3", maybe a little bit shorter. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's height, and Cesaro seems to have a personality when he's on, like, up, down, down.
Yeah.
When he's just hanging out with his friends.
Yeah.
But I don't think Cesaro works well under the scripted kind of promo thing.
And I agree with that.
That does a lot of wrestlers that struggle. That's the thing. They need to be off the cuff kind of thing. Yeah.
And I agree with that. But the other thing they could have just have done is just give him a manager who can talk.
Yeah.
Like when he had Zeb
that's
Coulter.
what Heyman was supposed to be. But.
Yeah. But my thing is so if you want to say you can push this guy, but you have other plans for Heyman, Zeb Coulter, fine. Get him another manager, just who can talk. We'll just do that. I just don't like when like those kind of things are the reasons they don't push someone when it's like it's an easy fix.
Yeah, you're not wrong, and they've proven more than enough. If they really want to get someone over, they will put everything behind it. Even guys that they want to get over that the fans don't give a crap about, they will just push them. Baron Corbin and push them.
For sure.
I thank you guys for talking while I can find this information out. So Lockdown is March 28th.
Talk about Cesaro anytime.
So Lockdown, which we've been hoping would come back, is going to be March 28th. It's going to be an Impact Plus show. So it's going to be before WrestleMania. But cool. Rebellion, they did announce the date for Impact Rebellion before they told us April 19th. So April is going to be pretty stacked for wrestling. We got TakeOver. We got WrestleMania. We don't even know what AEW is going to do if they've announced anything yet.
Actually, I was going to talk about that for my 1 minute warning.
Okay. April 19th is Impact Rebellion, and then NXT UK TakeOver Ireland is 1 week later. Yeah. 20th. So.
And by the way, we were not trash talking Drew McIntyre. He absolutely deserves the spot he's getting.
No.
We're just making a point.
Got a new T-shirt too.
Yeah.
You did? Sweet.
Yes.
Sweet. I need to get his shirt and a Bliss shirt.
So by the way, wrestling, thank you for getting me through the next few months of teaching. Because that push to summer is.
And thanks wrestling for just getting me through everything.
Yeah. Speaking of WrestleMania, we really only have 3 matches pretty much set. Lesnar versus McIntyre, we know. Ripley versus Charlotte. Any chance you think they could bring Bianca Belair into that? The way this is worked out.
I hope they do. Only because they seem to be making her such a focal point.
Yeah.
Like to me,
coming out with a Charlotte robe and everything.
And with that, and they could have picked any other time for Charlotte to start making her call out. Mm-hmm. Why did they do it right in the middle when Belair was getting her shot? Okay. And more to the point, why is Charlotte paying her so much attention? It just seems like they're either going to just give. Okay, well, and what I just thought of is Bianca could get her one-on-one match with Charlotte to prove herself and like get a sneaky pin, and get on the match at WrestleMania that way.
If she were Charlotte, she could just demand to be in it and then like get in the triple threat.
I mean, there's that too, but she's
Kind of how it works out, right?
I mean, she's clearly not Charlotte. Obvious physical differences. She's shorter.
Man,
Ha! You guys thought I was gonna say black, didn't you?
as great as she is, though, I feel like this is Ripley versus Charlotte is something that needs to be 1-on-1.
I agree with that too.
So many of these high-profile women's matches turn into triple threats, and I feel like it takes away from
last year's WrestleMania main event.
Yeah, it could have been 1-on-1, but they had to throw Charlotte in there somehow.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. And the other match we know is that Becky Lynch will be taking on the winner of an Elimination Chamber match. Natalia, Liv Morgan, Shayna Baszler, Asuka, Ruby Riott, Sarah Logan. Who do we think's going to win that?
Asuka, right? I'm sorry, Sarah Logan.
Oh, okay.
I mean, come on. The winner's obvious, guys. Come on. They've been setting it up for weeks.
Liv Morgan.
Ruby Riott.
Oh, okay,
Liv Morgan. Whatever, dude. It's
What?
clearly Ruby Riott.
She got they repackaged Liv Morgan. It's got to be Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan. Whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Look,
She's on Total Divas.
if you want to mess with the fans, you eliminate Baszler first.
Dude.
Like somehow, some way, you team them all up on her.
If by any stretch of the imagination, Baszler gets eliminated first, I officially will be like, I don't know what's going to happen anymore.
I mean, they can still. It's WWE.
The only reason they
come
do that
back
is
to
like
her.
Vince gets high. It'd be funny. Baszler.
So why is Riddle having a meeting with Vince?
Exactly my point. Getting that off the wellness
Vince,
policy.
Bro. Vince,
Take a break, Vince.
Hit this and tell me you don't want this on the wellness policy. All right. On to our 1 minute warning. While Tommy's laughing, we're going to cut here to Tina's because she did have a pretty cool 1 minute warning, I think. So we did pre-record it. I don't quite remember what it was about because we've been talking about everything else. Here is Tina's 1 minute warning.
And my only question is, okay, you have Charlotte wrestling Rhea. You have probably Shayna wrestling Becky. And you have nobody wrestling Bayley as of yet. Though it seems very odd to me that on Instagram, both Bayley and Sasha are putting up pictures of them as tag champions. So my assumption is they're going to set up a tag match with the tag team champions, Asuka and Kairi. And so Bayley's not going to defend her belt like that. I mean, this is all purely from what I've seen on TV. If that's the case, are they going to make Bayley the first double champion at the same time?
I would be shocked.
She's already their first grand champion for a woman. So
I mean, that's what I wouldn't be surprised about. Yeah. And would you have Rhea beat Charlotte? And would you have Becky lose to Shayna? That is the question. Thank you for my 1 minute warning. I gotta go.
And we're back. These guys haven't moved for a good minute. Here we go.
honestly, I don't think you timed that 1 minute warning. I think that was 1 minute and 7 seconds.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's fine.
It's it's because he's married to her, so she gets everything.
wow, that's not nepotism, but I don't know what that's.
He's not
called.
wrong. I mean,
I mean, it's so. I'm not mad at you at all. I'm just pointing out the facts.
and you understand.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm married now. Totally get it.
Mike, you got one this time?
Do I?
Do you?
Do
I
you?
don't know.
have
Well,
to.
let's keep talking about Cesaro for another minute.
Okay.
Go for it.
Because
to
go for it. So last week, well, let's talk about the last 2 weeks. I don't remember if I talked about this last week. First of all, 2 weeks ago on SmackDown, he loses a straight up wrestling match to Elias. I know Elias is super over, but he's super over because of his talking and his songs, not because he can wrestle. But then this past week, speaking of Cesaro with personality, they pulled off the old Saturday Night Live sketch of more cowbell, but Cesaro's such a good heel that when the fans started getting into him doing more cowbell, he's like, and throws it down. Because what should a good heel do? Not give the fans what they want.
Exactly.
Chris Jericho. So, yeah, I mean...
Bully Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I kind of like Sammy and Cesaro together, but, not when they're losing all the time. So, hashtag Cesaro for WrestleMania. I saw you. I don't know if you made that up.
I made that up.
Okay, because it's like I was 100% behind that. So, yeah, I'm sure he'll be in, like, the Battle Royal or something.
Yeah.
But 1 minute 7 for me, too. Boom.
Is it sad to think that Cesaro's going to be like the Kofi treatment years down the road. He's finally going to get the shot.
I hope he does.
I hope it's sooner than that.
I hope it's sooner than later. Yeah.
Yeah. And see, honestly, I think what you could do with him right now is have him. I think you could start that push by like having him save someone like a Mysterio or even a Sammy if they turn Sammy. Basically, where he's defending
Someone else.
guys against the bullies.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's the one that steps up to a Brock or someone or a heel if they ever turned not the IC champion. Jesus, I just forgot.
Braun Strowman.
Thank you. Like a big guy, because again, what one of Cesaro's things is like he is super strong for his size, and like everyone talks about that. And so
Picked up Big Show to eliminate him that first
Yeah.
Battle Royal. Exactly. So, Tommy, you ready?
Yep.
All right, ready, set, go.
Okay. Real quick, before I get to my main one, Pro Wrestling Noah is making a lot of big moves. They're showing up at Wrestle One. I think they have new owners. Just big stuff for Pro Wrestling Noah. Keep an eye on them. Hopefully, I'm praying with their new owners will get a network soon. Please, God. Anyway, but my main thing is AEW. Cody did say that they're not going to have a show WrestleMania weekend. They said that's theirs. We're not going to interrupt them that. And also because a lot of the guys are probably working somewhere that weekend. Mm-hmm. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't like some of the reactions that I heard. Like some people were like saying like, yeah, they AEW meaning they can't compete. Well, first of all, stop saying that. They're not competing. Everyone knows that they're not competing. They're a separate company. They're not competing because they're just not. They can't. And second of all, it's WrestleMania. The other shows that run that weekend are not competing either. They're getting their WrestleMania money. There's something wrong with that.
Yeah.
Just trying to get that WrestleMania money. There will be fans all over that city, whatever city in Tampa, that weekend. They all have disposable cash that weekend. Everyone's trying to get a check. Nothing wrong with that. So even if AEW, minute 7, if AEW does have a show, cool. It's not going to run Sunday.
Shouldn't run it all that weekend. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
When we went to WrestleMania that weekend, we went to that midnight show, and there was a show. I forget what promotion it was.
VIP.
VIP did a midnight show after WrestleMania, and there were people that were just they were sat next to people that were from like Europe or Germany or something. They just like we saw the flyer. We just wanted to see.
Yeah, I
more
was say some
wrestling.
of them heard about it that day.
Yeah, and just went to show up and see more wrestling.
Yeah.
See Jake the Snake. See Joey Ryan. So.
But and also like you said, there's 2 points of it. You say they're not compete, but I think obviously all those promotions are just trying to take advantage of people that are there and travel all the way from WrestleMania.
It's smart business.
and just want to see wrestling.
Yeah.
But at the same time, ACW not running the show also kind of says, look, we're not the lower level indies just trying to get off the WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Like we are still trying to do our own thing. We're not going to rely on.
I don't even think Impact is running a show that weekend.
I don't think they are.
Probably not.
No, they're not.
But I mean, if AEW does that, then it's real easy for people to go, oh, look, you took advantage of WrestleMania weekend to get the fans. So I think it's also kind of cool because they're still trying to keep their own thing and make sure they build not from that, but from their own base and from their own.
To me, because I know a Ring of Honor is still running 2 shows that weekend. Well, 1 show for sure I know about, and I don't think there's anything because if they don't, I hope they don't. Cool, but even if they do, I don't think there's a problem with running it that weekend anyway. I mean, yeah, I see your point though. Let's make it look like it's good to not do it, make it look like not competing, but it's like it's WrestleMania. Every wrestling fan remotely in the world, because even no matter people's feelings about WrestleMania, and yes, there have been years it has not been great. The spectacle is what's important. You want to say even for the bad one, yeah, I was there, it sucked, and that way you can be the judgment.
32 is the best. I don't know what you're talking about. Zack Ryder kicking off the main show with an IC title.
Yeah.
First of all, that was awesome. Yeah. It just said it went literally nowhere.
He just gave him his moment, and his music played at Mania. That was kind of the big stuff.
And I don't remember the main event. I'm sure it wasn't important.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I just remember some big, weird goth speech by Stephanie McMahon and zombie stuff for Triple H.
Oh God! Don't say your name. She might show up again soon.
She's like Beetlejuice. If you say her name 3 times in a row. Oh man, I kind of want to see it just to wake up tomorrow and see Stephanie McMahon scheduled for SmackDown.
Speaking of WrestleMania weekend, though, I'm really excited to see. I think there's like a whole bunch of Texas promotions getting together. I think they're calling it Texas Mania.
They're Texas Mania. They're nicknaming it Texas Forever because heavy metal. I forgot to tell you this. Heavy metal at their last show had a poster board sign, and they wrote Texas Forever, but they ran out of space. And Forever was like the ER was like really small. But everyone they announced for Texas Forever had to point at the sign.
That's the old John Mulaney skit.
Yeah, so Dylan Dunbar said, who was he to? I think he to Pistoletto.
This is on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He said,
okay.
Pistoletto, you're Texas Forever. Point at the sign. And a couple of friends of mine already had their tickets, so they had to keep pointing at the sign. And
That's great.
And I couldn't breathe for laughing so hard.
I'm really excited for that. A whole bunch of Tex Promotion getting together and promoting a show in Tampa on WrestleMania weekend. I think they're going to be broadcasting it too.
That's that old skit. You know when you write happy birthday and you make the big letter and then the big letter and then, oh my God, you're running out of space. What happened?
It was so funny because it was exactly like that.
I still do that now, so I like count letters. So that's funny. Well, speaking of any promotions that are doing it right, mine is going to be one about what not to do when you're starting up a promotion.
Here we go.
Yeah, because I happen to see some posts about a show coming from Dylan Dunbar, who's mentioned, and Brandon Oliver. If you're starting up a wrestling promotion in Texas or any town, great. If you want to take the shot at it, go for it. I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt. Get the ring, get the venue, do some marketing, get some wrestlers, maybe a few big names in there to draw people in. But when nobody hears about you, because I never heard about you, the only thing I hear about you is that you decide to call out every other wrestling promotion in the San Antonio area because you think there's something wrong with San Antonio wrestling, that there needs a change or that nobody really cares. You sound ill-informed. Like, where have you been? River City Wrestling has been running just as long, if not longer, than Ring of Honor, and still going strong. Heavy Metal Wrestling has been getting praises for some of the stuff they're doing. Rounded Outlaw Wrestling is still running great shows. Hell, not even right up the road, ACW is still running stuff. Gulf Coast Wrestling Alliance in Corpus, they have Thunder Rosa vs. Roxy coming up, which is going to be great as well.
Galactic Pro Wrestling just starting back up there.
Okay, yeah. So there's a bunch in town. If you're going to show up in town, what you don't do is call out other promotions. You haven't proven yourself yet. You couldn't even draw 50 people. Sure, you might inflate it and count your staff and wrestlers. You might inflate it to 60, fine, but you didn't draw the house. I never even knew you were running a show. And I'm all over social media for San Antonio Wrestling, and I didn't know you had a show going. This guy didn't even last the whole show. Would you leave like halfway through?
No, I got there late because like I had family stuff going on, and so I got there late, and I liked what I saw, but I don't know if this was what he was told to say or what he had learned. Like Kenny King made a mention of something to the effect of there not being a lot of wrestling in San Antonio, which
Kenny King, there ain't been a lot of wrestling in your career recently.
I was going to leave that alone.
Kenny King?
Kenny King.
Yes.
Wow.
As in All Night Express, Ring of Honor, Kenny King, who's in the new Los Ingobernables version of the
He clearly doesn't go to like the flea markets and
the random lucha shows that pop up on downtown
and I think that was everyone's main problem, because even like my friends who were there, who all of us were there, we didn't say anything. Surprisingly, we actually were. I think we were in shock. I was like, "Really?" I was like, "Literally in this building, at least every other month now, there's a
Here, can you read this?"
Yeah.
Every weekend, because like even like some bros you didn't
Makes no
mention,
sense to me.
TWE, TNT, and other stuff.
There's so many. I forget it.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. It's easy to.
Yeah.
It's like but it is almost impossible to go a weekend in San Antonio and not be able to find wrestling somewhere. Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Almost one of those 3 days, I guarantee someone's running a show. The right weekend, you could hit up 3 shows in a single weekend.
Or even hybrid if they're doing a student show. You know,
Yeah,
Varsity
I mean,
runs a
yeah,
young men's
yeah.
show. Yeah.
So I think and actually I was shocked that you hadn't heard about it, because I know they
didn't.
They I guess I just follow them and hear about them, and to me the matches I did see were fine, but the main event was the best match I saw. But the other matches were fine. It's just that it wasn't like Ring of Honor's Era of Honor Begins. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't the first show of ROH where it was like everything was just great, and like this clear the stars. Something. It was a fine show. I mean, and to me, I don't like the idea of calling out other promotions anyway.
No, the idea is like if you're calling other promotions out, don't acknowledge it. Do your own thing.
Plus, we had that that flame war back in what, the mid 2000s, early 2010s, like with ACW,
Pretty much.
ACW and RCW.
But SCW got involved there for a little bit.
Yeah, but even that kind of like fizzled out. Everyone was like, okay, let's just keep doing our own thing. And everybody was like, let's just kind of like grow up and like, if we make money, we make money. If they do, they do. Great.
Yeah.
No way. We're calling out all the Jericho. We're calling out your podcast. What's that dude who does the podcast with like everybody? The one who does Arn Anderson and the Bruce Pritchard podcast. He like supports them all or whatever.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, we're calling all those out.
Yeah.
Right, Cultaholic, we're calling you out.
Cultaholic, yeah. Come get some if you want some.
No, you guys are cool. We like
clearly we're the better one.
We're just guys sitting around talking wrestling. That's the whole point of our YouTube show. But my thought is, if you're running a promotion, do your own thing, great. But market a little bit better, please.
Sorry.
Conrad's his name.
Yeah, Conrad Thompson. There we go. Market a little bit better because Tommy, I think, was the only one at the table that didn't even knew about your show.
Well, market better and focus on yourself.
Yes. That's a big thing.
Like, talk about your great things, not about calling everyone else. I thought, that's about it.
Focus on what you're going to bring.
And it's like, to me, one thing I remember Dylan said specifically was bring in a lot of big name talent, which is fine, but just be careful about it.
Yeah.
It's like
Wrestle Circus.
Yeah. And which is sad.
Say it.
I mean, you're right.
Yeah.
Which is sad because Wrestle Circus really did have something, and for a lot of reasons, and
You mean attempted to be PWG South?
Yeah.
Which I wish it could have been. It's just if they hadn't. I think
you got to be patient. You have to build to that.
Yeah.
I
think the biggest problem there was they were running every month. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that was the big.
You got to be exclusive, like every other month, kind of thing.
I think
Rudy Russo does that with his shows, and he's doing great. So.
Yeah, and I think they're doing Euphoria isn't doing one next month. They're doing it the month after. Because BOW is back next month, March 14th. Be there.
Really? Okay.
March 14th is BOW. So
how is it spelled again?
Okay, so the reason I know this is because it drove me crazy. Is like how you pronounce it's the letter U, the number 4, the letter I, and the letter A. And honestly, I thought it was called U4IA, and I was like, what does that stand for? And someone said, no, it means euphoria. And I was like,
no, it doesn't.
I'm like, I was trying to figure out. I was like, what the hell does U4IA stand for?
And when they said euphoria, I was like, what was wrong?
Like, is it midget wrestling under 4 feet tall or something? I don't know.
I'm in.
I just didn't get
But
it.
my question was, you couldn't just spell out euphoria? What was wrong with that?
Don't reinvent the damn
that's
wheel.
That's not cool, man.
I know.
Euphoria was a bad word. Did it assault your family?
Was like the U lowercase, the 4, I,
the
that
U,
sort of thing.
The U is capital, the I is lowercase, and the A is capital.
Was there a dollar sign used as an S anywhere in there? Or a Z at the end when there should have been an S, like the old, 90s
Euphorias,
Dudley Boys and Hardy Boys.
And if someone reads in Spanish, it says U cuatroya. Come on. Don't reinvent the damn wheel.
Lucha Libre.
Yeah.
Patrulla.
that hit me so hard.
Japanese, Ushiiya. So, our Twitter account, at @CCG_WrestleCast, and subscribe to the Countdown City Geeks YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. If you have a funny way to say euphoria, let us know.
Oh, please do.
Record a video, reply to it. Let's hear it.
Please do.
Also, I kind of think I want to do an episode on this at some point. Failed WWE pay-per-view names.
I have been praying we do that show.
Yeah, you know what? If you got some suggestions out there, throw them out there. We'll discuss them. Give us the name. Give us the highlights or lowlights of the show.
I was saying, can we talk about just the names, or the names and the show? Because we can do both.
Yeah. So
yeah, there's got to be a separate because some bad name shows weren't horrible.
Yeah.
But then some were just. Yeah.
I'll be completely honest. Throwing this out there, I kind of want to see Taboo Tuesday / Cyber Sunday make a comeback.
I do too.
I
thought the concept was pretty good.
Yeah.
But are you going to do it real? Or are you going to do like what match do you want to see?
The only real way to do it is for the
paper towel match.
The Twitter polls to expire right before the match starts.
A glove
That's the way
match
to do
or
it.
a table. There was always like one
the
super obvious one that they knew they wanted. And then
make the Twitter polls public.
I mean, but you know what we're going to get, though, if they do that?
What?
Do you want to see Corbin and Reigns in a steel cage
with
match?
dog food?
With dog food?
With cat food?
Or fish food?
Don't throw like random things to make it obvious. Do you want to see Roman Reigns versus Corbin or El Torito or Hornswoggle?
Yes.
At this point, I take El Torito.
WLC. Let's go talk about WLC. That was a great match.
That was a great.
That actually was a lot better than
arguably the best TLC match of all time.
I hate it when you say that.
Well, it was clearly the greatest WLC match of all time.
Yes.
So.
Did we do the Twitter thing and everything like that?
Yeah, we did that already
okay,
while you
cool.
were cracking up.
Okay.
Next week, we are going to be previewing, for maybe about a minute, we'll be previewing WWE Super Showdown because no one really gives a crap.
I am so bringing my DS Lite for that show.
That's
to
fine.
Metroid.
Honestly, I'm only going to talk about it for like a quick minute, and then we're going to talk about AEW Revolution.
Oh, good, an actual show.
Ooh.
Oh, I mean,
yeah.
what?
What?
No one said anything.
Blood money.
It had to be said. It had to be
It
said.
had to be said.
It had to be said. Because what is it? Goldberg and who cares?
And the Fiend.
And the Fiend.
Under the
Fiend.
heat lamp.
The only
And
thing,
for the hell of it, Lesnar vs. Ricochet.
that's the only thing I actually remotely care about. I'm not gonna lie, just to see what they'll do.
One plus on that, they are promoting a women's match ahead of time.
Okay.
I do like to see that.
Yeah.
So I think it's Bayley
And-
versus the winner
and-
of
Carmella.
No, is
Naomi
it-
and Carmella.
Naomi Carmella.
They fight this Friday.
This fight this Friday. The winner
Okay,
takes
the
on
winner
Bayley,
takes on Bayley,
in
yeah.
Saudi Arabia. So
And the only reason I'm making sure that the Lesnar Ricochet match is if they would let Ricochet get any actual offense in. I don't think he'll win. I just think that he'll get any offense.
if he lasts more than 8 seconds, what does that say for Kofi?
It says that Vince really does hate Kofi.
In all fairness,
So
as long as Ricochet doesn't jump at him right off the bat, he's off to a good start.
he's got a shot. He's got a
Well,
shot.
and even though I still hate that, the fact that Kofi still got to have his revenge match against Randy Orton and win, it does make me happier.
So down the road.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It finally happened.
So that's what we're talking about next week. This has been a fun show. Glad we got Tommy to laugh a few times. Euphoria, what the hell are you doing? Come on, man. You cuatroya. You shi'ia. Over here we got Tommy.
See you guys later.
Over here we got Mike.
No fear in 2020.
I'm JC. And as always, heels and baby faces, remember, pro wrestling is real.
People are fake. Cultaholic, we coming for you. So if you want to subscribe to the channel, click right here.
And if you want to watch more WrestleCast videos, I got 3 words for you. Click right here.